Can you all tell what this video is about with my garb? Got the pink lips, got the pink dress, and my eyes are a little pinky. Can you tell? It's none other than a pink princess video! Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Pamela, and on today's video, it is an amazing update of this experiment that I've actually been doing for the last few months, and it is in regards to my reverted pink princess. Yes guys, my reverted pink princess has pushed out a half moon. So if you're interested in just hearing what happened, how this happens, and just a little bit more updates, and also how you can potentially get the same results, then keep on watching. So welcome back guys. Alright, so this is actually a reverted pink princess. I purchased this plant off of Facebook just one random day. My friends, one of my planty friends and I were just talking, and she also happened to have gotten a reverted pink princess, so I was kind of inspired to get one, because pink princess, as we all may or may not know, but you probably know if you're watching this video, kind of, that pink princesses, the plant, go for a pretty penny. I actually do have a pink princess that I purchased as a pink princess. So this reverted pink princess I purchased off of Facebook for $24. This plant, it was $24 when I purchased it. It originally had this leaf, and two others that are no longer pictured. One of them, well, both of them died off. Okay, let me correct myself. One of them died off from here, and the second one I actually chopped and propagated, and that's living in here, but then the leaf died while it was inside of here. So the original plant came with 4 leaves, and now I have a total of 2, 4, 6 leaves, and a 7th one that's pushing out off of this one. So you're probably like, whoa Pam, how did this happen? Oh, okay, all right. Like I said, I purchased, let's rewind a little bit. I purchased this reverted pink princess off of Facebook for $24. I also purchased this pink princess off of Facebook for $20, and when I originally purchased this plant, it only had this one leaf, and I think I purchased this in December. So yeah, as you guys can see, this came with this one leaf, and I think it had like 2 other little leaves also. It didn't look really good. So since then I have rooted this plant, and it's gone ahead and branched off into 3 separate plants. So if I show you guys, if this will zoom, this entire situation right here is one whole plant. This situation right here is another whole plant, and lastly, within the rooted leaf, there's a whole separate, it's a whole separate entity. So this is a new part coming from here. I hope you guys can see this well. So I'm really happy and excited to see what this pink princess is going to look like when it gets larger and more mature, because again, it came from a very small leaf. So this leaf, I don't expect the leaves to have just pushed out to be as large as these. But again, I purchased this for $20, a like one sad leaf, and I purchased this one for $24. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, and we're gonna talk about the reverted plant. This, like I mentioned, was a reverted pink princess. When I got it, it had some specklings of pink on them. So these are the 2 original leaves, and you see it has just some pink on them. But I've watched plenty of videos and none of them were helpful. And when people talk about pink princesses and reverted pink princesses, they always mention you need to see like pink on the actual, right here on like the stem. I think this is the part. I'll put the correct terminology if I'm wrong here somewhere. But this part, the stem of the plant, and they're supposed to just be pink on it. I don't know if you guys can see the pink that's on here. So I'm not sure when they talk about that if that means it's supposed to be pink right here where the plant, like the new leaf, unfurls and push out, or if it's supposed to actually be here on the stem itself. So I was always confused, and nothing I researched answered the questions that I have. So I said F it, screw it, whatever. I'm just going to experiment with this plant because I purchased it to actually experiment, because I know I had zero, sadly I had, okay, I take it back. I had actually high hopes of this plant pushing out pink, and that's because of all the pink that was on the foliage, on the leaves themselves. I was very pretty. This is a reverted pink princess, and these are the leaves. And again, I'm okay with this. Do you see the pink? There's such high hopes for this plant to produce more pink again in the future, because this last one has some pink in it. So I'm gonna try to watch more pink princess videos actually, and see if I can, in my home, because I only have east facing windows, see if somehow I can give it enough light to, you know, do its thing. But again, this is beautiful, guys. A reverted pink princess. I had high hopes for this plant to push out pink, you know. So when I received it, it was in its own substrate from the grower, and I actually left it in the substrate, and I found that I did not like the mix that it had. So I decided to make my own mix, which I use for pretty much all of my plants. The only thing I vary is just if I add more perlite or if I add more orchid bark into my soil mix. But I have just like my regular old plant mix that I make for all of my plants. So one of the first things I decided to do is chop this plant up, because for the heck of it, I just said, yo, at the end of the day, what am I gonna lose from chopping my plant up? It's already reverted. I purchased it already as reverted, so it's not like it's going to get greener because it's already green. And if it doesn't get pink, then that's fine. This is supposed to be a green plant. So I went and chopped my plant up, and as you can see right here, down here is where I chopped the plant up, and it's brown because I added some cinnamon, because I'm like a weirdo and a freak like that, that I'm afraid of it getting bacterial infection. So I put the cinnamon just to help prevent any bacterial infection. So that's one thing you guys can get from this video, is adding cinnamon to a fresh wound helps to decrease the chance of a cutting having bacterial infection. So I went ahead and I cut that off, and let me show you guys what this looks like. So this is just a regular plastic bag, and if you guys can look into here, this is the cutting of the pink princess, reverted pink princess, and it's already pushed out a new leaf. So I'm really excited to see what this looks like, if it's going to be pink. I don't know if I see some pink, but I see another leaf unfurling in this, so I will keep you guys updated. This might be a few parts, this video. It might be a few parts. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this cutting, but I have, again, high hopes for it to push out pink and be a pink princess. So going back to this plant, the first new leaf that grew in for me was this, and I want to let you guys know, for the entire time post cutting, right after I cut this off, I had this inside of one of those just like plastic bags, one of the ones that you put your groceries in, like your fruits and your vegetables if you go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, let me put them inside of this bag so they can separate them. I had it inside of one of those bags on a heat mat. And I just did it because, you know what, the warmth I know helps with the whole germination process and the whole root growth and stimulation and all of that. I knew that was a thing. So when this leaf popped out, I was actually, one, disappointed in the size, because guys, look, compared to this, look how tiny this one was. So I said, maybe it's the humidity, the bag, that is encouraging the plant to grow larger leaves. So I X'd it out like immediately. As soon as this unfurled and I did not like how it looked, I X'd the bag out. So now for the second new leaf from what I propagated, oh, okay, let me just rewind back. The new leaf had the tiniest bit of just like pink speckling right here. So I said, oh, okay, there's still the possibility, because the older leaves had some pink in them, but the stem had no pink. So I said, all right, let me wait it out and see what is gonna happen. So the second leaf came in, and same thing, the leaf was definitely larger than the last one, but it wasn't like gigantic, and that's completely fine with me. So you can see the second leaf, it only had a little pink right here, if you guys can see. I don't know if this will show you well, but it had just a little tiny flash of pink. Just okay, you guys can probably see it right here. Okay, whatever. So I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I'm just gonna keep providing this plant the same condition that it's in, because the window that it's at is great lighting. So yay, thumbs up for that. So the third new leaf it pushed out, I was super happy and excited because the speckle got a little bit bigger and the plant leaf was a lot larger. But I also noticed that if I would look at the plant from the back and I see like the light shining through it, there were different striations of pink. There was some like darker pink, some lighter pinks. Like the leaf wasn't entirely green. So although it did not show like light bright pink like this, there were still a very good amount of pink in the leaf. And I'm saying this is for like all of the leaves. These had like dark pink, burgundy, like pink striations in them. So I observed all of those things, and that gave me motivation to keep on giving the plant the same condition. So you're probably like, oh, what are the conditions? Just hold on, I'm gonna tell you guys. I just have to tell you like the backstory of the plant. So the third new leaf that came in, like I mentioned, you know, it had a bit bigger pink, but it wasn't like crazy. So remember what I mentioned about when I would Google how pink princess plants worked. They always mention that there's supposed to just be some pink on the stems, and again, I did not observe pink on this stem. I did not observe pink on this stem, on this one, nor this one. But what I did notice pink wise was on the inside where the new leaf unfurls. On all of them, you guys can just see that bright pink on all of them. So again, that was encouraging me to continue to experiment with this plant, because if there's pink on it somewhere, then there's bound to be some more pink. And also there's pink in the DNA of this plant, so I just had high hopes that it would keep pushing out pink. So again, this new leaf, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth new leaf pushed out pretty much an entire half moon pink princess. Guys, I am so excited. And the whole half moon portion, even on the green part, there's just some deep pink. It's like a burgundy hot pink in the green sections also. And if you look from the back, this is how the back of the leaf looked. Keeping in mind the whole pink on the stem portion, my variegated, my pink half moon leaf, guys, has pink on the stem itself. That is so exciting, guys. That is so exciting. So now let me just tell you everything that I did step by step. So these are the conditions that I gave my plant from start to today. I have my plants on a heat mat, so you can get a heat mat and place your plant, because that will help with the root formation and just like enticing your plant to continue to grow more and more, because in nature, things when they're in hotter environments, they react faster. You know, the more heat you apply to anything, the faster the process is going to be, the quicker it'll like happen. So the heat mat. Secondly, I have mine in an east facing window, but I have it maybe a foot away from the windowsill, so it's not getting full blown full on sun, but it's getting that nice eastern lighting that most plants would really love, and which is very ideal for plants. So that's 2. 3 is actually cut my plant back. So when you cut something back, it helps initiate, or it alerts to your plant that, oh my gosh, I'm dying, I have to grow to stay alive, I have to grow. So for me, in my mind, this is what cutting back does to the plant. I didn't have to cut all of the leaves off because I didn't want a bare stem. I think that's hideous. So I didn't cut all of the leaves back. I just cut off that one node of plant, and the other leaf died, which I didn't really give 2 F's about because that's not what I'm here for. So like I said, I gave it a heat mat, I gave it eastern window, I cut the plant back, and I also tried to keep the soil on the moister side. So instead of following my regular watering routine, which is just water like most of my plants once a week depending on the size of the pot, I decided also, since this is on a heat mat, I am going to water it more because this is drying out faster. So I watered this about like twice a week, and I also to fertilize the plant. And I have like a variety of different fertilizers that I use. I use fish emulsion, and I also use my own like aquarium water, and I also use worm casting. So those are the fertilizers that I use for my plants. So that is what I did, and I just had patience. I always preach to you guys, patience is very important, and in this case it's no different. You need to be patient, and if you are willing to get a reverted pink princess, just know that every plant is different, and the conditions that you provided may or most likely will affect how your plant grows. This plant, when it was at the grower, at the nursery, wherever it came from, it was not growing the way the grower wanted, so that's why they sold this plant at a discounted rate. But of course, if this plant was pushing out pink like it was supposed to, this would have cost maybe like 3-4 times the price that I paid for the plant. So now what I plan on doing is give this a pole, a moss pole. I'm gonna make my own moss pole for this plant. So the roots, as you can see, these beautiful like roots, they have somewhere to like cling onto. And I also have read that when you give plants a moss pole to hold on to, the leaves actually grow bigger and larger. So I'm going to provide this plant that. I do know, and I have very high hopes that the next leaf should be pink, because I can see the pink on the stem right here again, like I mentioned, right here. I don't know if my camera will focus, but I'm just going to continue providing it the same conditions. I'm going to give it the heat mat. I'm going to leave it on my east facing window about a foot away from the windowsill, and I'm going to continue to just like fertilize the plant, and I will keep you guys updated with the outcome, what happens, and also I will keep you guys updated with this little one node cutting, because I'm very excited. This pink princess is beautiful, and you guys can see how pretty the foliage is. So pretty. I'm very excited about that, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys, because I am done talking. So yes, if you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and sharing. Subscribe if you aren't already. Join this little kooky family, because we're pretty awesome here. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. But let me know, do you guys have pink princesses, and also do you have a reverted pink princess? Because this experiment has made me just hella happy, hella excited. So this video had made me super excited and very happy, and I'm happy to share with you all this journey that I've been on. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Let's get growing. Bye.